Hi, my name is Miss Brown.
Hi, I'm Miss Karen Brown.
Hi, Miss Brown. I see that they've already had you to sign the confidentiality form. Can I have that from you, please? Okay, thank you. And we're going to start with this form. Just kind of to reiterate what the form was for. Um, that just basically states that whatever we discuss in our sessions will remain between us. I don't have to share that information with anyone. However, if you disclose anything that could be harmful to either yourself or someone else, you're going to hurt them, or I have to report that to authorities. Is that something that you are aware of?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you are still comfortable with speaking with me today?
I am.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Brown, can we get started and can you go ahead and tell me what brought you in today?
Um, Basically, I'm having some issues at home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming out of previous marriage, and I have two kids, and they're not getting along with my husband at all. Very disobedient, very, very rude, and it's really becoming a really bad problem at my house.
Okay,
And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
basically, it's just got me overwhelmed right now.
Okay, yeah, I can kind of understand um how that could be. Can you tell me how long ago did your first husband pass away?
It's been about 4 years.
Okay, how long were you currently married?
We're going into our seventh month. Yeah, it's about 7 months now.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
what are the ages of your children?
They're 14 and 16.
Okay, 14. So we have some teenagers. We know teenagers can always be in a rebellious stage. Um, can you kind of tell me is this something that just recently started, or has this been going on since you first met your current husband, doing a dating process, or how long has this been going on?
No, it's yeah. Basically, after my husband died, it took me a while. So basically, it was just me and the kids.
Hmm.
And I got it back out there, and we dated for about a year. And I mean, it seemed like to me the whole time it was a distance with him and the kids. The more I tried to do things to allow them to kind of build a relationship, it really didn't kind of happen. And once we got married, it just kind of it's getting worse. It's like falling apart.
Okay, so let me just make sure that I'm following you. I'm understanding everything that you're stating to me. You were previously married. You have two children from that marriage. You all were he died 4 years ago, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You have met someone else and y'all have been married for 7 months. Your
Yes, ma'am.
children are ages 14 and 16, and they just they just don't want can't get
No,
along with your husband.
can't. I'm not even giving them a chance.
Okay, do you know what brought this issue on?
Um, Basically, I think it comes down to me when we started dating. I started planning things with us together for him to get to know the kids, and we would go out and do things. And as time progressed, I started having them say, well, this is your new dad. We're going to be a family. It's kind of like pushing them into a father children kind of family relationship. And I'm telling them, like, right now, this is dad. He's the head of the household, and, he's the man in the house. And it just kind of bringing them more distant.
Okay, after the passing of their father, I know that could be hard. Um, so they were about ages um, 10 and maybe 12 when he died.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Have they ever, do they still talk about him? Have they disclosed any information like they need have they been needing or have they been going to, I'm sorry, grief counseling or anything like that?
No, it was offered to us, but no, they haven't gone. And I think, what you're saying, talking about him. I think once I got into, starting getting married again, maybe it's me trying to block that out
Right.
too, and I'm not allowing them to really talk a lot about it. And maybe they do it among themselves, but to me, no, because I'm feeling like I don't want my husband to be uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah, I do. I understand where you're coming from, but also being that they are their children and they were so young when their father passed away, they may be needing to vent a little bit, kind of get some of that negative energy or vibe out of them, and they could possibly help restore a relationship with not only you but with your new husband, and also going to grief counseling can also help them as well. I also want to ask if something that it's just something that I'm thinking you should consider. Maybe not referring to him as dad. Is that something like, can you just allow the children time to get to that point?
Yeah, I can. I need to because I brought that in.
Hmm.
I introduced that to them. Maybe it was forceful, but I was just, I guess, trying to hide my emotions also.
So you're in a way trying to block out the past and just bury the past and start
Start.
fresh.
Yes,
Yeah, I
ma'am.
kind of
Yes,
understand that.
ma'am.
Um, Also, I'm just going to take a look back on your chart. And I know you also stated that in the beginning of like your dating process, because I know that you're still kind of like a newlywed. What have you done recently to get your husband and your children together?
Well, no, we used to do bowling nights,
Mm-hmm.
and that came from my first husband,
Okay.
and I kind of brought it with my new husband with the kids. That's a no-no. That was created a problem. They don't want to do it. We go out there. They refuse to even participate. We take family trips, and they'll sit in the car and not speak to us or just be all mouthy and rude.
Okay. Um, okay, with that bowling, going with the bowling experience, being that that's something that you all did as a family with their actual father, maybe by you doing this with your new husband, it's kind of bringing up some old feelings that they didn't have a chance to talk about. Do you think that's what's happening?
Yes.
And also, maybe you want to try something different. Like instead of going to bowling, maybe you can have a movie night or a family game night. You play board games or things. Just try to do something different. Not try to redo what you did with their father because that's until they're done with the grief counseling because that can kind of affect them in a negative way.
And I think the grief counseling would be best for all of us, myself too,
You're right.
because what I'm thinking, I'm trying to like use what I did in my past with this marriage to
Mhm.
see if it's going to work. And my most hardest feelings right now is what if something was to happen to me right now?
Mhm.
What would happen with my kids?
Does your husband have children?
No,
Okay, and
no.
are you or do you have like a close knit family aside from your husband? Are you close to your sisters or your siblings or is your mom or dad still alive?
Well, we're here now because we relocated
Hmm.
before my husband died, passed away. We moved on this side, so my family is out on the west coast, and no, we're not really close because I was always away.
Okay.
So it's like,
So that's why you're a little bit fearful for your children.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, is your husband does he want to have a close bond, a close relationship with your children, being that he's never been a father?
Well, right now, it's like I'm not sure anymore because of always the bickering, and I'm like in the middle, and I try to be there for my kids, and then my husband feel like I'm just on their side, and then when I go with my husband, it's like the kids. So I really don't know where they're
It's like a
staying.
back and forth thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, have you ever like had a conversation with your husband? Basically, just trying to see where he's at, if he can be more understanding of the situation that your children are going through, that they lost their father so at a young age, and maybe they just don't really know how to connect to anyone else.
And we used to talk before. I think now being with the kids are getting older and they're just being rude and disrespect that I feel like he is not giving them a chance and I'm afraid to say anything to him. And it's just getting me, I'm just getting emotional, depressed. It's hard on me now, so I don't know which way to turn.
Okay, so and how is this depression? How is that affecting your current status, your current life?
It's like I don't want to do anything anymore.
Okay.
Sometimes I just don't even want to go home to face what I have at home with
Mhm.
them. It's always a battle at home. We can't even sit down and have dinner without somebody's blowing up at one another.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, it's just hard on me. Sometimes I go to sleep and I don't want to wake up.
Okay, I understand. We what I can do, sounds like you may need to go to maybe a one-on-one counseling session, and then we can kind of get the children and also yourself into a grief counseling or maybe a support group that can maybe help, and then also just in closing, we can get the whole family, you, your children, and your husband into a family counseling session. Is that something that you would want to consider?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But how do I go about asking my husband if this is something he would like to do?
Okay. So, if you'd like to, if you want to, you may want to. Does he know that you're coming in to speak to me?
No.
He does not know that. Okay. Well, you may want to just go home and just kind of, like I stated before, see where his head is, and um, just ask him if he would like to go to get involved in a counseling session to kind of bring the family together. You can just ask him.
I will. Because he see where it's getting to me now.
Yeah, I
So,
see it is making you a little upset. I understand
yes,
how
ma'am.
frustrating this could be, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get you. Is there anything else that you wanted to speak to me about today?
No, I just need to find out how do I get a hold on this situation.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really getting out of hand and it's getting me. I don't know how to even deal with my kids anymore.
Right, I do understand. I think it's more so for the just they don't know how to grieve. So we're just going to get them into grief, get you all into grief counseling, and then a family counseling session as well. Um, well, thank you for coming in and speak to me and disclosing all your information. I'll be in touch with you in our next session. I'll have your treatment plan ready and just some things that I think would be best for you right now.
So you will give me an appointment. I'm waiting to come back.
Yes, I will.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You have a good day.